do a quarterly update, a yearly update. I'm just going to do an update and just let you know that it doesn't have to be that complicated. There's not a lot of things that actually go into it. And my wallet is a lot more simplistic than everybody else's, aside from the beautiful look it actually has, the Ekster wallet. So let's actually go through my wallet and let's see exactly what makes sense and why I only use 3 different cards. So starting off first, we're going to see, we actually have 4 here, but I'll tell you why in just a second. But starting off first, trying not to dox myself, is the Amex Platinum. Now, this is specifically the Charles Schwab Amex Platinum card. And the reason I'm using this one is because, well, it's the one that has the most amount of coverage. So if I'm going to be using this on, like, stuff that doesn't necessarily fall under the travel category, like whether it be, sometimes for vitamins and supplements, stuff like that, monthly subscriptions to something, a gym membership, or just a bigger purchase that doesn't fall under any of the credit cards that I have. Maybe I'm buying a new computer, a new phone. I don't have a Best Buy card, an Apple card. So I'm going to use this because I have the most amount of insurance as possible. I believe it's up to about $50,000 per year per claim, or $10,000 per claim. So $50,000 per year that I have coverage if I use this card to buy those electronics. So that's the main reason for it. Other than just the coverages and using it for miscellaneous spend, I use it because it does have the 5 points per dollar spent on all travel booked through the Amex travel portal or directly through the airlines themselves. So that's the main thing, points and for traveling and for insurances. Nothing too special about this card, but it is the first card on our list and it's beautiful and that's why we love it. So that's the first one. That's all we got to deal with. Second one is my favorite credit card, which is the Amex Gold card. Now, of course, everybody talks about the Amex Gold card being one of the most powerful ones out there. The way I look at it is everything I spend in life right now currently is literally has to do with food. So whether it's groceries or just eating out of restaurants, it has to do with food. What does this card give you? Well, it gives you 4 points per dollar spent on all restaurant spend and 4 points per dollar spent on all grocery spend. And there's no cap to that as well. So that's the main reason, because all of the money that I spend in life happens to be revolving around food. So that's why we use this card. Also, if you decide that, me personally, if I decide that cooking is not an option, or, if we're living at home and stuff, then you're not going to be cooking. If you want to save some money, this card also comes with, monthly credits towards Grubhub and Uber Eats. So this way, if you decide not to cook for 2 days out of the month, you can use the credits, and this way it discounts the annual fee, and you don't have to worry about anything, So this way it's completely covered with the gold card. So that's it. This is my food card. The third card. I'm telling you, we're really minimalistic here. The third card is the Yotta credit card, and I say this every single video. I love the Yotta credit card. I think it's one of the most unique and wild card cards that you can get out there. Reason being, if you're unfamiliar, which you should if you watch this channel, but the Yotta card gives you a chance between 1 and 2% of actually getting the item you just swiped for free, right? And it's sometimes is multiplied depending on if you refer it out to certain people. And when you do refer it, you do get certain tickets within their lottery system. They have an incentivized banking system to where if you save or you put some money into your savings account every single month, they're going to be, or every single day, they're going to be giving you tickets towards the daily raffle, which is basically a lottery. You could win between $0 and $10 million every single day. So interesting card, interesting way to incentivize spending, but the credit card is where it's the most powerful. If I don't have anything that I'm spending on, maybe if it's not hotels, if it's not flights, and it's not those insurances, and it's not food, this is where I'm going to use this card. Because if I'm not going to get anything, any benefits whatsoever, I don't care about the insurances and the purchase protection. I don't care about points back categories. I'm going to use the Yotta card because, well, I'm a risk taker, and I like to get that 2% chance of getting the item for free. Specifically, if you guys aren't familiar, but this guy named Joshua Butler, he's on YouTube. You guys probably know him from there. He also has the Yotta credit card, and within like the first couple of months of owning the card, he got about $500 to $600 worth of just items for free just by using this credit card. Specifically, one of them ended up being, I believe, just a very nice microphone, which was about $350. He used the Yotta card, completely free. So could you imagine how long it would actually take you if you just used the Amex Platinum card for miscellaneous spend like that? How long it would take to get $350 in cash value? I mean, that's 35,000 points, right? Or $35,000 you'd have to spend. I mean, that's a lot. That's ridiculous amount of money just because you left it up to chance. So that's why I do love this card as well. And I really love it for incentivizing saving, which I think is super important. The wild card, well, not the semi, but the semi wild card, the one that's in my wallet for no other reason other than because it's Capital One and people like them, but because I'm using this one currently because I actually want to raise my credit limit on this credit card. A lot of people want to know, how do I raise my credit limit with Capital One? You know, do I have less inquiries? Do I have less credit cards total? Do I apply for more credit cards? Should I get the savings account with Capital One? You know, there's a million different things. So I like to just use this card as much as possible. The balance or the limit I have on this card is about $1,500, so it doesn't take a lot to get to the edge, which is typically what I would recommend to actually get a credit limit increase. As long as you're using, you know, a good amount of this credit card every single month, you know, getting closer and closer to that 1,000, 1,500 level, you're going to signal to the banks, to Capital One, that, oh, this guy really needs some money. You know, he's using it very, very often. So the more you use it, the more they can see that you're using it, the more it looks like you need more credit. So hopefully they give you a higher limit, you know, going forward. So doing a little test right now, just using this card for a lot of my spend, just to see if I can raise that credit limit in the next couple months. So those are the credit cards. That's what's out of the way for that. That's my minimalistic, simplistic approach. Now let's talk about what's actually in my wallet that's not a credit card, because I think that's a little more interesting. So in the very nice ekster wallet that you can get with the discount code down below, you're presented with my South Carolina driver's license. And also you're presented with a fortune cookie, which I always like to keep a fortune cookie in there, and a $2 bill. Very, very nice. So, the fortune cookie. Let's talk about the fortune cookie and why I put this in here. So every now and again, I'll get a fortune cookie that I believe may symbolize the next portion of my life. So, in this particular fortune cookie, you can probably read it. It says, making sure, happiness is not a journey, it's a destination. Sorry, opposite. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So sometimes while I like to think like, oh, let's just hustle as much as possible, let's get to this destination, let's get to this net worth, let's get to this next deal, let's do this next YouTube video, sometimes you have to stop and appreciate the happiness, which is the journey along the way, which is not how I believe in the credit card world, though. I do believe that the destination actually is the happiness, like the hotel. I don't really care about the flight. I care about the hotel because that's the destination and that's fun. And you can do more fun things there. So that's the fortune cookie, and every now and again that'll get cycled out. $2 bills. Why do I keep a $2 bill? Well, one, look how nice that looks. I mean, come on, that is some beautiful artwork. And we also have the Clemson paw on the front. If you guys know, go Tigers. It's South Carolina football, college football. $2 bill is interesting because it makes you more recognizable. I've said this in a past video, but now I finally have it forward. Makes you more recognizable. If you go out to restaurants, you have waiters, waitresses, it's good to tip with a $2 bill, especially if you're someone that wants to be recognized. Like, I'm a real estate agent, so obviously I want people to remember. So if you tip with a $2 bill, people are more likely like, oh, that guy with the $2 bills. And he just always has one for some reason. He's a weirdo. But you can get these very easily. I don't want to really give out my secrets, but technically you can go to any bank in America, Chase, you know, Santander, any bank that you want to go to, Capital One, and you can actually request and ask, how many $2 bills do you have on hand? And typically they have about $50 worth. What I did not know is if you want to buy them in bulk, I believe they come in stacks of $200. So if you pay $200, they'll give you 100 $2 bills, easy math. And they actually go from the back into the vault and they cut new ones out for you, which is very interesting. But love the $2 bill. You always got to have that there so people think you're more interesting, I guess. What else we got? We also have the Tesla key card. Of course, I just keep it in here just in case. The phone technically is the card to actually get in the car, but this is also a secondary one. You can see it's all beat up, and basically the way it works is you just tap the outside of here when you're about to get in, unlocks the doors, and they're good. Anyway. I technically do have another credit card. I kind of forgot about this one. So I do have the Kohl's card in here. The reason I have it in here, the only reason, is because somehow or another I find myself walking into a Kohl's. I don't know why. I don't know how it happens. I don't even know how I got there. But sometimes I'll look around and I'll be like, wait a second, I'm in a Kohl's. And then I start to think to myself, wait a second, there's a lot of deals right now. There's always a bunch of deals. I need my Yotta. I need my Kohl's card, and I never had my Kohl's card. So now I just keep it in my wallet. So this way, as I remember, yes, the Kohl's card is in there, and this way you can gain access to all those discounts and those deals where you can just buy, shirts like this for 100% off. They just give you the shirts for free at that point. So that's why I keep this in here, just to have it, just to be safe, and to never be caught with my pants down, so I could buy some more at Kohl's. Let's see what else here. We also, not too many left. Priority Pass, which literally looks like the worst, most beat up card in my entire wallet. I just like the way it looks. I just keep this in here because I assume that I'll just leave it at home if I decide to go out to a airport lounge if we end up flying. That's pretty much it. I literally just keep it in there because, well, why not? So if you're unfamiliar, this is the Priority Pass Lounge. It comes with the Amex Platinum card, a lot of different cards. It allows you to get into like 10,000, I forget how many, but like 10,000 plus airport lounges where you can sit, relax, have fun, drink, and maybe go to sleep. So that's what that is. Let's see what else we have here. I think that's basically it, except one other thing. One other thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got two more things. Hold up. All right. Okay, let me just do that to make it simplistic. We got the Chase debit card because who really knows? If you get to a point where someone doesn't take American Express, well, I could always use my Capital One card, or for some reason they don't accept credit cards. In the South, anything's possible. It's either cash or debit. They don't want to get those credit card transaction fees hit on them. So I keep the debit card just in the event maybe I have to do that, or if I have to pull out just cash, anything that I need. At least you have one debit card. But no, I'm not using this for any spending. Please don't chastise me. Don't put me on a cross. So let's not deal with that. The last one, because the other stuff is too confidential, is the AAA card. So I definitely recommend AAA. I've been in a lot of sticky situations, and typically with, I believe, their medium plan, you can get up to 3 tows every single year, calendar year, up to 100 miles each. So if you're 100 miles from home and you have a flat tire, you can call AAA. They'll tow you all the way back home, and any destination that you really want. Take it to the mechanic's office, all that stuff, mechanic shop. So I definitely recommend this for only a couple dollars a day, I believe. So pretty cheap there, or a couple cents a day. Not too bad. And I believe we're all out. Well, I guess we could do one more thing, which is, let's see, Mr. Venture right here. The South Carolina license. Isn't that great? I think I'm wearing the exact same shirt because that's the only shirt I own. So that's it. That's what's in my wallet. That's my 3.5 card setup, and it's honestly the most simplistic way to think